Hi everyone, Ravi this side. Welcome to Engineering Adda. Today in this video, we are going to discuss about one of the lead code array question, which is question number 1619. Okay, so what this question is and how we can solve it out, everything we are going to discuss in this video. So the question says mean of array after removing some elements. So what we have to do is we have to remove some element from the array and then we have to find out the mean of it and then we have to return that out. That is what the question is. It is a very simple one. So let me try to go to the lead code and then try to discuss about the question first and then we'll try to solve it out. So the question is mean of array after removing some elements. So this is what the question is, and here you can see that it is a question number 1619. You can go to this lead code under the array section, uh, tag array. You can go to this lead code tag array, and here you will find out all the question related to the array. And if you go down, or you can search for the 1619 and then you will find it out. You can see this, right? So this is what the question is and this is what we are going to discuss here. So it says that given an integer array arr, return the mean of the remaining integers after removing the smallest 5% and the largest 5% of the element. So what we have to do is we have a array called arr. It has some elements. Now what we have to do is we have to remove the smallest 5% element of the array and largest 5% element of the array, and then answer within 10 to the power minus 5 of the actual answer will be considered accepted. So what we have to do is we have to return the mean of uh, like here you can say given an array arr, return the mean. We have to return the mean of the remaining integers after removing the smallest 5% and the largest 5%. Okay, and the answer within 10 to the power minus 5 of the actual answer will be considered accepted. So what we'll do, we'll try to convert that answer to the double and then we'll return it out for this case. Okay, and the problem is we have to remove the 5% smallest element and 5% largest element, and then we have to calculate the mean of it. So what we can do is simply we can sort out this array, and then from the first like start from the start of the array we can remove the 5% of the element, and from the last of the array we can remove the 5% of the element, and then whatever are left we can sum them out and then we'll try to have a mean of it. So let me try to write the solution for it. So here you can see what I'm going to do is first of all I'm going to sort the element, sort the array. So what we can do is we can use this array dot sort, and then we can provide this array inside it and it will sort it out, right? Now we have the sorted array. From from the beginning we have to remove the 5% and from the last we have to remove the 5%. So how we can do that? So for that, first of all I'm going to count or I'm going to see what would be the actual number if we are going to calculate the 5% of the total array. So for that, let me try to find out the total array length. So let's say it is int n equal to arr dot length, and now we have the n here. Now what we can do is we can find out removing count. Okay, what we have to remove. So what we have to remove is we can use this. We have to find out the 5% of the total n, right? So we can use this mat.floor, and here we can find out the 5% of this n. Okay, so n into 5% would be 0.05. Okay, and that's all, and we have to finally convert this out into the integer. So let me try to parse it into the int. So for that, it is integer here. So what we are doing is we are finding out the 5% count. Okay, what would be the 5% count, so that we can remove it out. So that is why I named it as a removing count, which is a 5% of the total length of the array. Okay, so let's say the total length of array is let's say 10. Then in that case 5% would be half, right? So let's say total length of the array would be 20. In that case the 5% would be 1. Okay, so that 5%, like the first one element I have to remove, the last one element I have to remove, and then remaining of them we have to find the mean of. Okay, so that is where we are calculating this removing count. So we have the removing count handy. Now what we can do is we can create a for loop, and we can start with the removing count so that the first 5% of the element would be ignored. So let's say int I equal to removing count, and we are starting with the removing count so that we can left out the first 5%, and now we can go till the total length, which is n minus removing count, so that we can ignore the last 5% or largest 5%, you can say. So removing count, and then we can have I plus plus, and now what we have to do is we have to find out the sum of the remaining elements. So here let me try to create a variable called sum, and let's say sum equal to 0 here. And how it would be, it would be like sum equal to sum plus arr I. So we have the sum of remaining element. Now what we have to do is we have to find out the mean of it. So how we can find out the mean? So we have to calculate the like after removing this first 5% and the last 5%, what are the elements remained there? So it would be int remaining count, and it would be like n minus 2 into removing count. Okay, so that will give us the remaining count. And once we have the remaining count, what we can do is we can create a double variable called answer, and here we can let's say, let me try to wrap it out as a double. So what we are going to do is we have the remaining count, we have the sum of the remaining count. Now to find out the mean, what we can do is we can divide the sum of the remaining count by the remaining count, and we'll get the answer. We are converting that to the double so that we can meet this criteria, and we'll simply return the answer here. So for that, let me try to divide it out. So how we can do it is sum divided by remaining count, and we are good. Now simply just return the sum here, sorry, answer. So let me try to again remind you what we are doing, or summarize these things what we are doing here. So what we are doing is we are sorting out the element, we are sorting out the array first, so that the smallest element will come at the beginning and the largest will come at the end. So it will become very simple for us to remove the first smallest 5% and the last smallest, sorry, last largest 5%. So for that only we are just creating a variable called removing count, so that we can have the count what we have to remove. So how we are calculating that removing count is we are calculating that based upon the 5% of the total length. Now we have the removing count. We are creating one for loop starting with the removing count, so that it can leave the first 5%, and then we are going till n minus removing count, so that we are not touching the last 5%. And then we have the sum of the remaining count, and then what we are doing is we are finding the remaining count, and then we are finding out the mean of it, and then simply returning it out. This is what we are doing. Let me try to run this out and then see what it is saying. So you can see all the cases are passed. Now let me try to submit it out, and here you can see it took only 3 milliseconds, and it beats around 96% of the solution. So this is how you can solve this out, and this is about the video, guys. If you like the video, please hit the like button, and please subscribe the channel for more such content. Thanks.